Okay, YouTube, we back with the third video in this rather depressing series that it shouldn't be. But in the previous two videos, we already broke down Brazil and we broke down Botswana with, the historical strides on LGBT progression and why it is needed as late as 2019. Now that we done got Africa out the way, and we also have addressed the West Indians, we are now taking the global epidemic of homophobia and transphobia and now addressing it with the Asian folks. So, well, the first video I did addressed America with reparations, second Africa, third West India. Now we got to go to Asia with this. So down in Bhutan, as you can tell from the title, Bhutan takes first steps towards decriminalizing homosexuality. In an historical effort, Bhutan National Assembly, the country's lower house of parliament, took the first step toward decriminalizing what is described in their law books as unnatural sex, which includes homosexual acts. On June 7, the National Assembly voted overwhelmingly 43 to 1 in favor of removing sanctions 213 and 214 of the country's penal code, which decriminalizes sodomy and unnatural sex conduct. The step by the assembly was widely hailed by activists. Now I'm wondering who was the awkward one person who darn old stood to go against this, but I digress. So then it goes on to say laws rarely enforced. The news came as a surprise to many activists in the country, according to journalist Nega Zam, who contributed to the Global Voices story. In 2013, Zam wrote in national and international media about the hidden LGBTQ community in Bhutan and the challenges they face. Three-quarters of the Bhutanese population are Buddhists. Buddhism does not condemn homosexuality, instead teaching values like compassion and tolerance. The LGBTQ community in Bhutan, which has a population of 825,000, is small according to the informal records. The LGBTQ plus community numbers around 92, of which only about 20 are publicly open about their gender identity and sexual orientation. Honey, best believe it's a lot more that will be coming out soon enough. Their main challenge has been the provisions 213 and 214 in the Penal Code of Bhutan, which criminalizes homosexual relationship. Once again, keeping your nose in everybody's business but your own. The country's penal code was introduced in 2004. So this was one of these laws that got introduced later versus all the other ones. We know that it's been a long standing history, but they're going to China decided to introduce additional laws when people across the world were starting to decriminalize laws. Like in America, we were starting to decriminalize sodomy laws over here in 2003, but they darn gonna put the penal code was introduced in 2004. Okay. Provisions from the British colony law. Bhutan was historically a monarchy, but in 2007 the country held its first parliamentary elections as it transitioned to democracy. Sections 213 of the Penal Code states a defendant shall be guilty of the office of unnatural sex if the defendant engages in sodomy or any other sexual conduct that is against the order of nature. Sections 214, the defense of unnatural sex shall be a petty misdemeanor. Okay, granted that at least they're not over here killing folks, it's not a felony. However, the fact that you're penalizing people for who they are is still an atrocity nonetheless. That should be corrected, should be compensated, should be darn gone um, fully restored to economic restitution for the people who were affected. So now it goes on to say in a progressive parliament on May 29, 2019. So roughly June, July, August. So 2.5 months ago, a bill proposing the amendment of the penal code of Bhutan was introduced, which did not include the removal of these two sanctions criminalizing unnatural sex. Huh? Wait a minute. Let me read that back. On May 29, 2019, a bill proposing the amendment of the Penal Code button was introduced, which did not include the removal of these two sections criminalizing unnatural sex. During the deliberations in Parliament, however, Finance Minister Linapo Nagman Telstra proposed that Section 213 be amended. The minister emphasized that he was not trying to encourage homosexuality, but that the redundant law was an eyesore in the view of international community and should be removed from the Penal Code. The Legislation Committee presented the new amendment to the National Assembly on June 7th. Members voted overwhelmingly to repeal Sections 213 and 214. The bill would now go to the National Council, the upper house parliament, for further deliberation. Wait a minute in my voice. Now it seems like is we doing another case of half-assedness. It seems like they trying to amend but not fully take it off, if I'm reading this correctly. Which once again, here we go with the appeasement, but not darn going full restitution. Here we go with appeasement, but not darn going fully darn going taking it off altogether. And this is that bullshit of why I do not deal with it. And once again, the key common denominator, you can call it Christianity in America, you can call it evangelical in Brazil, and now here we are all the way in Asia, and we calling it Buddhism. So despite the fact that all these doggone religions are supposed to be totally different, it seems to be a common narrative when it comes to LGBT. Who ain't doing nothing to nobody. Nobody. Honey, doggone just want to be our damn selves. And here we is across the whole motherfucking world. Where are we going to go? In America, you doggone trying to you got Mike Pence as vice president. Brazil trying to be half-ass. Africa still trying to be head people. Then you go all the way to doggone Bhutan with the Buddhists. And here they is still trying to be half-ass. And you wonder why there is a global uprising of LGBTs doggone fighting the back against this, and all of a sudden we in your face. Because of shit like this. And shit like this is why LGBT is doggone plastered in massive numbers all over YouTube. Because we're not taking this shit no more in 2019. If you would have just let us be ourselves and live our best life, I ain't fucking with you niggas. And I ain't fucking with y'all. Don't come fucking with me. Honey, y'all come fucking with us. Come fucking with me. Honey, this some bullshit. You got the darn gonna joke and laugh to keep from about borderline crying on this bullshit. Although I'm the one to cry happy tears, since I told y'all in the last video, I'm not the queen that will be crying like a weeping willow. I be darn gonna crying happy tears as I make my red heels a little bit more red with the darn gone cloth blood of yours. But I ain't gonna go into that darn on nasty read. Y'all just go to the previous video if y'all want to see the darn on reading on the darn on Christian community, honey. But it's like, once again, whether you call it Buddhism, Christian, Jehovah's Witness, honey, it seems like all the same because the narrative stays mighty consistent. But let us continue on. We've waited all our lives. Tashi Tarante of Rainbow Bhutan, a group that represents the country's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community, told media that many activists cried on learning of the decision. In Facebook post, the group announced, "We only advocate to remove the sanctions from the Penal Code in order to advocate for recognition and inclusion of the LGBTQ community. It gives us great pleasure to see progressive MPs who understand our issues and are willing to stand for what is right. It's a great day to be alive." Journalist Nagman Zam then went live on Facebook to celebrate with the other activists. She wrote, "Dear Finance Minister, Speaker, Legislator, Community members, and MPs. Name same currency We shed tears of joy in Parliament today. Never imagined that this will happen in our lifetimes, but it did. P9 from the Rainbow Bhutan commented in the video, after 27 years, I'm fully human valid. And once again, you would think as people who were classified as 3/5 human at one point in time, you would think our straight counterparts will be able to see the similarities into this. Once again, not to be confused with congruency, but this is what LGBTs had to face in 2019, being fully classified as a human in 2019. Okay. But then you got activist hopes that the National Council will follow through in validating the repeal of the two sanctions when the winter session starts in November. After the bill is passed, it will be sent for royal assent. Nagmazine wrote in Facebook, now we wait like my LGBTQ friends say. We waited all our lives. What difference does a few months make? Honey, a few months make all the time in the world at this point, honey. Keep the doggone pressure on them. Not to see once again there goes that laissez-faire talk. Oh, well, we waited all our lives. What's a few moments? What's a few moments? Bitch, see, it's all that doggone being submissive and cheering and for appeasement that keeps you doggone getting the crumbs and half-asses, because they ain't even see the coded language on the fact that they didn't want to outright take all of it off. They just wanted to modify it, because once again, let's go back to the early thing. Unless I read this shit wrong, I might have read it wrong, which y'all can correct me. But I could have sworn they said they just wanted to modify it. The LGBTQ community in Bhutan, which has a population of their main challenge has been the provisions 213 and 214 of the Penal Code, which criminalizes homosexual relationships. A bill proposing the amendment the Penal Code of Bhutan was introduced, which did not include the removal of these two sanctions. So he's saying he's not trying to encourage, but you don't have to encourage. Ain't nobody telling you to go out and darn go fly the flag. What you talking about not encouraging? You see this coded language right here? Talking about the minister emphasizes he's not trying to encourage homosexuality. Honey, if you're not gay, you're not gay. Honey, ain't nobody darn gonna telling you to come darn on down to the team with your old stiff ass. Ain't nobody want your old darn on slouchy ass. Because that's what most of these parliament members are around. Old slouchy white man. Ain't nobody want your old stiff darn on tired darn on rub yourself down with big gay ass down to the darn on gay bar hole. Talking about you ain't trying to encourage homosexuality. Honey, ain't nobody trying to encourage your ass to come over to the team no damn way. Most of us are pretty. We ain't trying to invite ugly motherfuckers to the motherfucker party, bitch. See, let me stop. Ron Woosah, honey. Buddha, 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 Buddha. Honey, the playback on the last video with my darn on Lady Gaga. But see, they all made about to get me about turned up in this dang on video. But I promise y'all, we will not have a repeat of the last video where I go off about 20 minutes. They is not going to get me started back up tonight up in this bitch. I'm going to get my food prepared tonight. I'm not about to go off on the Buddhist people. Cause bitch, honey, I don't think my little darn on second degree is gonna match up to honey. These motherfuckers come out the womb with a 3rd degree black belt. So it's like, bitch, I don't want to piss them off too much. But honey, I'm still gonna give you this darn on virtual darn on fire, bitch. Honey, I'll whoop your ass through this motherfucking computer screen. Now you see me in real life, honey. I ain't gonna be quick to darn gonna be with the hands with y'all. Honey, I'm gonna be on my Beyonce. It's your second amendment. Ooh. Okay, let me stop. See, I'm going right back to darn gone to the last video. I'm about to do a dragon, honey. So before DivaWuan had to go into dragon mode, let me end this off by saying this once again is why LGBT feel the need to have to constantly speak up on these issues. Because if we were just treated like human beings and darn gone left to our own devices of our own selves, being with our partners, being able to get married and darn gone have paperwork on our spouses, such as, you know, power, medical attorney, and all that, with the same as our straight partners equivalents, we wouldn't have to be dealing with all this shit. If you was darn gone to darn gone, just leave us be. Don't have to invite us to the house. Don't have to invite us to the cookout. Hell, half y'all motherfuckers passing these laws can't cook any damn way. Can't even trust you with the dang on potato salad. Darn gone turning the shit into a motherfucking fruit salad. Darn gonna go to the potato salad, got apples in there, got some walnuts, got some grapes and raisins. It's like, bitch, you darn gone indecisive. You got the grapes and the raisins up in here. I might as well be eating the damn fruit salad. Can't even trust to bring the dang on potato salad to the dang on cookout, ho. But these are the ones that we're trusting to darn gone look out for our interests overall as black people and as LGBTQ people. But once again, talking about I ain't trying to encourage you. Honey, ain't nobody trying to encourage you either. We just want you to darn gone be fair and impartial. When you take an office, you supposed to be fair and impartial for the benefits of all citizens of your land. Both straight, gay, Republican, Democrat, or if it's another terminology in your country, liberal or conservative, Christian or atheist, Luciferian, I might give you the little eye like this, but Luciferians have their rights too. Pagans, not to be confused with Luciferians, two totally different groups. Some people like to darn on group all the groups together and act like everything of the roots are evil. But honey, and the true tea is the darn on hoodoo and the voodoo is actually the good people, and the darn on Bible is actually the demons of all the corrupt. But then again, y'all ain't ready for that video, and neither is you two. Because if I was to really go into darn on breaking down that Bible and darn on flipping it upside down like these motherfuckers, flipping it back to what it really is. Because if I was to extract that darn on Bible that y'all keep using across the world and changing it up from Buddha to darn on Jehovah's Witness to evangelical, and I darn on reveal that your darn on God that you worship to, where the, you know, the pro-black people want to darn on say, oh, he's copper skin with the afro hair, or the white people want to darn on use the image of Julius Caesar. Well, guess what? Y'all be shocked as hell if I tell you that's the true demon, and that darn gone Lucifer was actually more of the darn gone non-biased angel that left you up to true. But then again, y'all ain't ready for that. See, that's going too deep, honey. That might be the first video that YouTube might darn gone flag me for, and I'm very careful. I look at the terms of service and everything every time they update that shit. But that might be pushing it. Y'all know how YouTube still be in their feelings at times, and honey, that might be the first video in a long time that they might try to take down. That'll piss off a lot of folks. I don't think they ready for that. So I'm going to keep it at bay for now. But I'm about 2 minutes from darn on dropping that darn on video. But before I do that, I'm just going to end it right here for now. We just going to put a darn on note into this in my back mind that they about tempting me to darn on drop that darn on not conspiracy video, but the true video, and with the hypothesis and the darn on facts to back this shit up. But right now, I'm just going to keep it light enough and just say this. Y'all need to get y'allselves together. And I ain't talking about these corrupt darn on racists who are darn on going to stay in their old ways. Old dogs don't change their damn way. I'm talking about to us darn on black people and us LGBT people who continue to be laissez-faire on these darn on subjects and darn on be happy when they try to give us somewhat a halfway of appeasement. Once again, every video I keep sounding like a broken record. I'm just going to start cinching the darn on videos from the previous videos at certain parts because it sounds like I keep saying the same shit over and over again. And just me having to keep repeating this shit is darn on insanity within itself, saying the same thing over and over again, and hopefully to expect a different result. So I got to put a little spin on it in every video add a little something too different, because the mind also says if you say something 6 times, 6 different ways, it will darn subliminally get drilled in your mind. So I got to continue pushing this into these to y'all heads until y'all get sense of this. Because right now, honey, you can't leave the darn senseless to make sense of anything in regards to you. Catch. So with that being said, if you like this video, thumbs up. If you didn't, you can feel free to thumbs down. Feel free to leave your positive comments and your constructive criticisms down below if you so choose. Share this video if you like, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah. One more video, ended it out with Ecuador, and this whole series will be over, and we'll be back on to our regular topics.